Great meeting, Jason. I appreciated that.
Thank you. It was nice seeing you and chatting with you.
Yes. Good. Okay. Do we have everybody here?
Yes.
I see Councilmember Seekings voted today.
Yes, I did too.
Absolutely.
I sent in by absentee this time. Did you go to the poll?
I did go to the polls.
I did too.
I was interested to see sort of the turnout relative to other elections with the ability to write in and mail in. It was low in my precinct.
Same here.
It wasn't low in our precinct. It was.
That's right. Well, you had some precincts merged in.
I've heard people saying that they waited up to 2 hours. So.
Wow.
I mean, that's kind of good to hear.
It is good to hear.
You're getting that kind of turnout. It's frustrating for people to have to wait, but nice to know there's that kind of turnout.
Yeah.
Kevin, didn't they merge a couple of precincts into one there, move a few over?
Yeah, they moved some from some churches and some places over to West Ashley.
West Ashley High School has about 10 precincts, and I have never seen anything like this. I mean, it has not stopped all day. They've actually had somebody pass out and had to have 911, have the EMS come out here. It's been crazy. They had to move people inside because it was so hot, and then the AC wasn't working inside. So definitely a lot of things that we can build on from this.
Yeah, I wish they would have used the gymnasium or the cafeteria where people could have room to spread out. They have two huge gymnasiums there. It's like an arena inside, and they just, I don't know why they didn't use that. Maybe they didn't think they would have the voter turnout that they did. Not sure.
Where was that, Kevin?
At West Ashley High School.
Oh, they did the same thing at West Ashley Middle. Of course, they had just done the gym floor. I mean, it looked like you could eat off of it. So I guess they didn't want to get it scuffed up.
Okay, we're ready?
All right, Mr. Chairman, carry on.
Will the clerk call the roll? Madam Clerk?
You're muted, Madam Clerk. You're muted.
You're muted.
All right.
All right.
We're going to do the roll in silence.
You saw my mouth and you didn't hear anything. Go ahead. Okay. Councilwoman Del Champo. Here. Councilmember Shealy.
Here.
Councilmember Saccharin.
Here.
Councilmember Mitchell.
Here.
Councilmember Brady.
Present.
Councilmember Gregory.
Here.
Councilmember Waring.
Here.
Councilmember Seekings.
Here.
Councilmember Shade.
Present.
Councilmember Griffin.
Here.
Councilmember Powell.
Here.
Councilwoman Jackson. Here. Mayor Tecklenburg.
Here.
Could you just join me in just a moment of a prayer? And this prayer is for our city. Dear God, as we approach what I consider this historical moment in our city, a city that's over 350 years old, Lord, give us the power and the strength and the endurance to do the right thing. This is like the Exodus, when the king did not listen to Moses, the firstborn of many died. As Moses led the children to the promised land, and they wandered for 40 years, Lord, they came out of the promised land with no plague. They had the marks on their door so that the plague could pass them by. God, as we go through our pandemic, as our children hit the streets, bless them with that mark, God. Hold that pandemic from the good doers of our country. This is a new day, not just for our city, but for the world, where we finally realize that it's time for the evil of racism to be eradicated from our country and from this world. God, give this city the strength to continue to be the leader that we are. When we did our apology, they said it was nothing but a piece of paper. But since then, Lord, so much has happened in our city. We've been able, Lord, to look at our police department way ahead of many other jurisdictions around the world and start our reform without any protest, Lord. Let us move forward with other reforms throughout this city, knowing that we're going to get pushback, Lord. But all our power and strength comes from you. Bless us, dear Lord, because we are about to embark on a journey that we may not see the results in our lifetime, Lord, but let's make sure that we leave the water in the well of the valley so that others that follow will be able to drink from it. These and all other blessings, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
The Ways and Means Committee is now called to order. First, we need a motion with regard to our May 12th minutes.
Move for
For
approval.
approval.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Bids and purchases?
Move for approval.
Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. Councilmember Shealy.
You muted, Kevin.
Muted.
Let's see if I can unmute.
Thank you. I got it. Okay, thank you. I just have a couple of questions on items 3D and 3E. Both of these were fire department items, particularly item 3E, but 3D as well. We did not go with the lowest bid on this, but 3E, if I read it right, Nuke Safe Incorporated gave us a price of $51,655, and we're putting in a request to spend $83,167, so a difference of $31,500. And I just wanted to get some clarification on that. And maybe there's a reason. Maybe something's not apples to apples. I'm not sure.
I'm sure someone will answer that, but if I can just try, it's not necessarily the lowest bid. It's the lowest and most responsive bid. And I don't know whether or not that was the case here. Maybe someone from our fire department, Chief Correa? Yes.
Sure. Good afternoon, everybody. Councilmember Shealy and the rest of council, the basic difference is that the lowest bid, the technology that they bid was solid state technology. That was not part of the bid. We needed helium tubes. So I made some notes. The difference in the helium tubes versus the solid state is durability of the product, ease of replacement, and then also, and I think the biggest thing is range of detection for the different gases that we're trying to detect.
Okay, I'm comfortable with that.
So that bid was the most responsive bid.
Okay.
Is what I'm hearing you say, Chief.
Yes,
Absolutely. And
Okay.
Councilmember Shealy, did you want me to address the other fire department
Yeah,
item?
if you'd like. I wasn't asking, so that was a little bit closer, but when I saw 31,000, I said, there's got to be a huge difference there, but certainly if you'd like, that'd be great.
Sure, absolutely. So the other one was for thermal imaging cameras. And the lowest bid, the product that they bid was actually not the product that we use. So as far as a training component in the fire department with a piece of equipment that's so essential to life safety, you don't want to have two different products in the department so that people have to try to remember to use different techniques in a high stress situation. So the second bid actually has the product that we use.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Certainly.
Any more discussion on this item? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposes? The ayes have it. Item number 4,
Approval. Second.
moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item number 5,
Move for
budget,
approval.
moved and properly seconded. Any discussion?
Councilmember,
Yes.
I just had a question about what this program was about. It sounds sort of similar to something we had talked about a few months ago, and was just kind of curious to hear more about it.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
It is very similar to what we spoke about and proposed a couple of months ago. And ever since then, at every opportunity that I've seen, I've personally raised the question, and staff does as well, as to whether we could obtain some funds to do exactly what we were talking about a couple months ago. So at that time, I knew of an existing small business loan program that's administered through the Council of Governments. So I called Ron Mitchum and asked if he could utilize that existing program. And as it turned out, it's got too many different rules and regulations, and it's for bigger amounts and all like this. So the answer was no. But what he found out and he shared with me was that there was more money available through the EDA that could be more flexible for smaller amounts for smaller businesses. So the COG applied for $650,000, and I called Meg and I said, see if we could apply as well, and we have. It hadn't been approved yet, but we've applied for money. I've also, just to let council know, in a expense request by the state government, our COVID-19 reimbursement, I've also included a $2 million request for a similar program to help small businesses. Again, we would be able to use those funds through the end of this year if they're approved. Again, we haven't gotten any word yet on either one of these applications, but we're still trying to find money, if possible, to supplement assistance for small businesses.
Yes, Councilman Saccharin, take your mute off. Okay.
Thank you. Mayor, thank you. I just wanted to say thank you for identifying those funds, and thanks, Councilman Appel, for bringing up that question. Not going to talk long, but just thank you for getting it done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did we vote on that, guys?
No.
No.
Discussion? Okay.
We need to vote.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Item number 6, which is on the amended version of the Ways and Means agenda. Police Department, after tax approval.
Move for approval, Mr.
Second.
Chairman.
Second.
Moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Committee reports, starting with real estate. Councilman Shea.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Committee on Real Estate met yesterday afternoon at 3 o'clock. And this was not one of those whiplash meetings in which we were done in 15 seconds. Items number A, B, C, D, and F were presented for consideration and all voted on with approval unanimously. If you want me to elaborate on any of those, I'm glad to do that. Councilmember Appel gets an award for bringing in more properties into District 11 than any other council member this year. And we'll give him a lollipop later on, I think. We received an update as to the purchase of the property located on River Road. The mayor discussed some of the hurdles associated with that report from an engineering firm regarding the use of the property and making sure that we were able to purchase it and utilize the space for its intended purpose for affordable housing. During the negotiations, we saved approximately $200,000. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for doing that. And I think the closing on that property is set for this week, but I did see another email. I'm not sure that got delayed or not, but it's set to close, I think, at the end of this week. If there are any specific questions on anything else, I'm glad to answer them. But most of this was extending some lease agreements for some parking on items A and B in particular.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
So
Mr.
moved.
Chairman,
Second.
Yes, Councilman Waring.
I mean, you can go ahead and get the motion on the floor, but I'll discuss it through the.
We've got a first and second. You can go
Okay,
on.
good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Mayor and Councilman Chairman Shahid, I did call an engineering firm and got some information on some of the development costs on this. I do not feel comfortable discussing that on. I'd rather discuss that in executive session than discuss that in open meeting. I do have some concerns, Mr. Mayor. I just got this information about right around 3:30, 4 o'clock today. And I think it would affect maybe the financial decision. I know we got a short closing period, but we really need a little more time on due diligence on this one. Mr. Mayor and Mr. Chairman and all around, information that we do not have to make a purchase on raw land like this, in particular for affordable housing. So I would like to have the kind of nuts and bolts discussion, but we've got, how many days we got to go on this? I know Ms. Shaw Johnson is on the call, but have not had a chance to talk to anyone about the information I did obtain. And I did share this at real estate, that I would reach out to engineering firm to get some additional information on this. And I did. As a matter of fact, I reached out to two, one who's involved with the site and one I want to even independent information to back up that. So,
Councilmember Waring. Mr. Chairman, if I could just add a little more background.
Hold up. Just a little order. We're talking about item E, right?
Yes, sir.
Member Waring? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to add on to what Councilmember Waring had brought up yesterday at the meeting. So we had voted to execute a contract on the purchase of this property. It is raw land, it's undeveloped property. So there were some issues as to the use of the property. And what Councilmember Waring was talking about was the cost of putting in the basic infrastructure for that. So, and he went out, and there was an engineering firm that did some work for us. So that's sort of where the status of this is located right now. We see that information for information only. We didn't vote on item E, since the contract had already been approved by prior meeting. I just wanted to make sure we had the right parameters on where we were with all of this. That's all.
Okay, so you're saying we are just accepting this as information right now?
Right, but Councilmember Waring did have some concerns, and I know he wants to discuss those concerns about that cost for the development. I think that's accurate, Councilmember Waring. I think I'm saying that properly.
Well, let's get A, B, C,
D and F.
E, and F out of the way.
Mr. Chairman, I got a question on D.
Okay, all right. It's the same issue. Can we just vote on everything but E and then come back, Councilman?
I got a question on D.
On D, okay, I'm sorry.
D is in David.
Yeah, D.
Okay.
The question I have on D, I know we approved that back in November, and now when you come up with the approval to modify the original transfer agreement, I'm asking if this still is going to be for 99 years if it's transferred, because I was reading it and it says it's going to be conveyed to this, the property is going to be controlled by a developer, and the developer would have all the, so far to say so and things like that. So is it still going to be the same as we voted on it in November?
Councilmember Mitchell, yes, it will. This is Gianna. Basically, the modification allows us to transfer that property, allows the Charleston Redevelopment Corporation to transfer the property into the Palmetto Community Land Trust in an LLC that allows for those 99-year covenants to exist.
Okay.
So question, yes, those covenants will still exist.
All right, that's what I want to make sure.
Okay, that satisfies your concern?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to everything except E. Do I hear a motion for?
I think we have a motion from Councilmember Shade, but I didn't hear a second.
Second.
Okay, moved and
Madam
properly. Okay, moved and properly second. All in favor of approving?
Madam Clerk?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. This is Carol
Yes.
Jackson.
Yes.
I have to recuse myself for C and D because I'm on the board of the Community
Okay.
Land Trust.
Okay, so noted. Okay, any other issues? And we're voting on A, B, C, D, and F. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Now, do we go in executive session, Mayor, to discuss E and come back to our, because that's the last item on our Ways and Means agenda.
So
Mayor Tecklenburg?
could I suggest that since we didn't anticipate an executive session and set up a call number 4, that Councilmember Waring and I have a offline discussion about this matter, and then decide by the end of city council meeting whether we need to call an executive session. In the meantime, set up a number if we need to have one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine with me, Mr. Mayor. That's fine with me.
Okay. Is there anything else to come before this committee? If not, I guess we recess, Mayor, until after the discussion offline? And
Yeah,
come to that item?
I'll give Councilmember Waring a call right now. We could go ahead and adjourn, and
Okay.
I'll ask Vanessa, if you would, to go ahead and set up not a Zoom call, but a conference call for potential executive session at the end of towards the end of city council meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll have them set that up while we're doing this.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor,
So we'll reconvene at 5 for council.
We'll still convene at 5 or shortly thereafter.
Okay, Councilman Shea?
yeah, Mr. Mayor, should I be on this call with you and Councilmember Waring?
Sure.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
Okay.
And Ms. Johnson, if she wants to be on, that's fine too.
Okay, all right.
Great.
We're adjourned.
I'll call you I'll just call you on my phone.
Thank
Talk to you.
Okay.
See you in a little while, guys.
Thank you.